Hey guys, sorry the time got a little changed. Well, it didn't get changed. It got screwed up online in the program, but it was always supposed to be noon, but it's just what happens. We're going to talk a little bit about Geek Fashion. We're going to talk about the fashion show. We've got models up here and some people who actually do fabrication. So we're going to talk a little bit about cosplay, a little bit about Geek Fashion, and just try to keep you guys entertained. So I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves so you know who you're talking to.
Good day, I'm Carrie Shea.
Tell them who you are.
I am Vice President of Modesto Convention Corporation. I live here in the Central Valley, and I'm obsessed with cosplay and geek culture and really proud to be part of the Geek Fashion Show. Oh yes, and I'm chair of the NorCal Cosplay.
I'm Ashpash, Cosplay. You can also call me Ashley. I am one of the models from the Geek Fashion Show. I've done it 3 or 4, and yeah.
I'm Shawny Martin. I'm formerly of Superfan Builds the first 2 seasons, where I was a jeweler sculptor. I taught jewelry at the college level. I'm an artist, and I dish out a lot of modeling and costumes. And model for Geek Fashion Show.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
I'm Pandora Grayson, and I'm a cosplayer. And I do pretty much all of my own fabrication. I'm getting into a little bit more armor type stuff, which I'm very excited about. Obviously, with the Geek Fashion Show, and absolutely adore it. And basically, we kind of all do our own little things, and it's kind of nice to get to work together. So, yeah. And obviously, you can come see us. We have tables, so please come by.
Hello, I'm Maid Jessica. I design lots of costumes for myself and have participated in many Geek Fashion shows as a model. It's so very fun. Also cosplay.
I'm Jennifer Golden of Golden One Cosplay. I'm a cosplayer. I'm also a board member of Modesto Con and Kazi's, the NorCal Kazi's, and I'm a model for the Geek Fashion Show.
And you guys can hopefully pass the wire around a little bit. So speaking of the NorCal Kazi's, we did a fashion show up there. What did you guys think about that sort of event? It was very unique, where you combined like sort of a convention and an award show and a fashion show together. You guys want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's not on. There we go. Sure. Well, it was something new, something that we hadn't really seen done before, cosplay award show, and so we were really excited to be able to bring that forward and to have the fashion show there. Really like brought the show together. The models were such lovely trophy girls, and the fashion show on the stage in the theater was just so beautiful and worked out really well, and really just sort of made the con as it was.
It was the highlight of Cosplay, having the Geek Fashion Show there. The models were amazing, not just throughout the day, but then through the night too. They rocked the red carpet. They were greatest trophy girls and card girls, and just absolutely amazing.
So lovely.
Couldn't have done such a great event without them.
So I know that formerly, basically, if you were a guy, there was. It's thinking about it. In any case, if you were a guy, you could get T-shirts, hats, you could get pretty much anything you wanted. With superhero or geek stuff on it, Doctor Who, whatever. As a girl going to a convention, maybe as little as 10 years ago, there was really nothing. So I think it's sort of reversed now. I mean, girls have a wide selection of stuff. There's Black Milk, Gold Bubble, We Love Fine, Her Universe, but there's really no male-centric fashion designers. What do you guys think about the change that's happened in the last 10 years about how it's really a girl's world now as far as geek fashion is concerned as opposed to guys?
I've asked you about this one.
She has feelings.
She's got things. I'm not like, welcome to seeing me get frustrated. It's great because they have, you know, the t-shirts, they have the mashup t-shirts, they have this, they have that. But we have dresses and everything where they do stuff from our video games to anime to everything else. And guys just kind of got left by the wayside. And it really frustrates me because I meet guys out on the street who think I'm in cosplay. And I'm like, no, these are my clothes. But thanks anyway. And they don't understand it because now it's reached a point where they don't have those options. And we have been starting to see now, the last couple of times we've actually done fashion shows, where there's designers that are starting to design specifically for it. I know Black Milk does some for them and things like that too, which is really nice. You know, they do jerseys and stuff, which is really cool. But it needs to get more out there. And I'd love to see more than just mashup t-shirts, I guess, would be wonderful for me to see, at least. So, any deals?
Well, there's the whole issue where the girls, we get to wear the dresses and be really fashionable, and the guys, they get the t-shirts. They don't get to wear stuff because you only wear that for an event, or you only wear this on the runway. You don't have to wear this every day. And so the guys are having the issue where they just get a t-shirt, and it's not eye-catching. It's fun to wear something fashionable and eye-catching that you wouldn't typically see. And so that's the issue for the guys. They just the t-shirts or the hoodie or something, and they're not really statement pieces. They're just t-shirts.
It's a logo and that's it.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. You get a cool picture of Deadpool, and that's what you get.
Nice shirt, Douggary.
That's it. That's all. Well, that's true. I mean, when I go to do a fashion show or I'm a host, I really don't have. I wear a suit just because I'm trying to dress up, but I don't have an option like the girls have to put on something that sort of reps what I like. I mean, I love Game of Thrones. I love comic books, but I mean, aside from some of those all comic book panel suits, which I'm not into, there really isn't an option for me to sort of represent my fandom up there.
Well, like even like textiles, the guys, they get to wear cotton shirts. Like there's textiles that are even slightly nerdy or like a fashionable thing. Like you see somebody wear something like the vest in this movie, goes, oh, it's a steampunk cosplay. No, let them wear the vest. Let them be fashionable.
Yeah, I think if guys, well, I mean, Pandora mentioned that sometimes she goes out in public and people mistake her for wearing a costume and she's just repping her fandom. But I think it's maybe even a little harder for guys if they dress up a little bit. People they don't accept it. I think.
As they consider them eccentric or like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's sort of true. The girls face sort of a discrimination on a level at geek events that they're not full-fledged geeks. Guys face that a little bit differently in sort of the fashion world. They're not expected to care that much about the way they look, you know.
Or be able to express it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, in the cosplay world especially. I mean, it's ruled by the girls. No, I mean, I love that, but you know, there's maybe a handful of guys who I call them six-figure. You know, like people who have over 100,000 likes on Facebook. There is probably less than a dozen guys who have that. I think I have 600. But I mean, like, you know, all the girls up here have, you know, they're at least 4 digits, if not 5 digits in the likes, and that's commonplace. You know, I mean, it's just how it is. Do you guys have questions, by the way? If you have any questions.
So, really like being in the Geek Fashion Show and stuff. Like, what do you feel like it influences for you? Like, does it influence your fashion in general? Like, after wearing those like awesome geeky dresses, you just want to go out in public and like wear it every day?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Well, there's some of us where we typically wouldn't wear the style we got thrown in for the show. Like the last show I wore a Hello Kitty dress and I had this 80s ponytail and this blush pink cheeks, and that's not typically my style. It was so funny.
It's like me and the baby yellow and bubblegum
Yeah.
pink. As you can tell, that's
Yeah. But it gets us into like different fashions. We learn we might like something different, or we might get to wear something different. Also, like we get to go to the shows and we get to see a fashion designer we like this dress. The first show I was in, 1138 Clothing had 2 or 3 Lord of the Rings inspired designs, which you never see. Like you get a Lord of the Rings like a Bilbo t-shirt, and that's what you get. So I was just like, as our model, I thought about it, and 3 months later I was like, hey, that smog dress, do you still got it? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, I want it.
Why don't you stand up and show that off?
And I like it because she doesn't go halfway, she includes pockets. Oh, yeah. As you can see, I'm a graceful butterfly.
I love her.
Girls don't get pockets, by the way. No, we gotta carry the purses, and then we lose the purses, and then our purses spill, and nothing ever gets sold in the
That's the
purse.
trade-off though, guys fashion is functional and girls fashion is for the, sometimes it's painful to wear.
It's the worst thing when you buy pants, you get them home, and you're like, all these pockets are fake.
Yeah,
Shouldn't be.
Oh,
I have to go back and demand pockets.
The other spectrum of the guys' fashion is they have to go full anime or something like that. And
Yeah.
then you see these guys walking down the street in full anime, which none of us have a problem with. But you see that they get a lot of looks. We walk down the street and guys are like, all right, unless they want to accost you and tell you that you're not really a nerd.
Oh,
But the guys, they want to wear their geekdom, and if they go all out, people just don't handle that well, and it's unfortunate because I see them on the street and I'm just like, can I fuck you? You're awesome. You're so brave. I love it. Yeah,
I love what you're doing here.
Makes me happy.
I think growing up, obviously, being a geek, you probably were on the left side of center in high school. You were maybe a little bit out of the king social circle. And so, you're sort of used to that. Now I think it's much more accepted in mainstream culture. There's plenty of TV shows that make references to it. Not that I like Big Bang Theory, but, things like that. I mean, that's, a top-rated show. So what do you guys feel like when you were growing up? Explain a little bit about when you first got into the geek culture and how that affected you, fashion-wise in high school.
I'm going to speak about that. I grew up in Springville, which is a town of about 700 people, and Lord of the Rings was, that was my other world. My father read it to us, and my brothers and I were all in Lord of the Rings. But back, in the 70s, there was no geek fashion. And so when you live in the hills and you've got a grandmother who makes your clothes, yeah, I had a hood. It was a gray hoodie that she crocheted with red trim, and I swear, when we were running around the hills, there was dwarves and elves and less. So, early on, you gotta make your own path. You gotta make your own path. It may not be accepted where you have to work, where you live your everyday life. And this is kind of why I'm here at the Geek Fashion Show. I've been fighting this battle, for a long, long time. And I'm a mother of a son and a daughter that are definitely different, definitely geeks. And speaking back to the male aspect of, geek fashion, my son's floundering, and I really think we need to do something about that.
Like the guys get considered brave for wearing something fashionable that they like, or the girls, we get to do it because we're girls, so.
Yeah. Right. I mean, the black trench coat thing is still, an issue. Yeah.
I've been a huge Mandalorian fan since I was little, and so being the only girl in my middle school who was like, yeah, Boba Fett. All of the guys, that were my friends thought it was really cool, but everybody else just kind of thought that I was completely bonkers, and they went home and did their makeup and their this and their that, and I'm like, I'm gonna go home and play a video game.
Yeah.
If you need me. And since then I've been able to kind of bring that in and everything. I'm also a nurse, and trying to explain to your patients why your scrubs have geeky stuff on them can sometimes be a little bit more interesting, but same thing, we still get away with a lot more as girls than the guys do, unless it's just a t-shirt, and it's really unfortunate. And I think that we need to kind of all go out and push it.
Well, I work with little kids, and I'll come to, I substitute. And I'd come to work in some superhero shirt, and they're like, you know superheroes? And I was like, yeah, I'm Pokemon, you wanna talk? So I was like a goddess in these little elementary school classes. But I'm just like, why at a young age are these little boys being taught, hey, no, girls can't murder things?
Yeah.
These are elementary school kids.
It's learned behavior. Really.
It's horrible.
Well, I grew up in Missouri where there was almost no geek culture. So being a geek out there was something you did in your home behind closed doors with the lights out. But out here, it's great that it's so much more prevalent. But even now, I've got a 7-year-old daughter, and we're in the aisle at Walmart looking at the superhero figures, and this little boy comes up to her and says, "Those are for boys. Girls are not supposed to like those." And she says, "My mom and dad said I can like whatever I want." So, I mean, it's just parents are teaching their kids certain things too, and you've got to let your kids be open and let them get into what they're into and not make them feel bad.
Do you guys have any questions from out there? Anybody?
We can talk for hours.
Talk.
We will.
So we did bring a couple outfits. We work with a couple national designers that are also affiliated with Think Geek, and that's Iron Fist Clothing and New Breed Girl. We have a couple outfits over here on the side they're going to walk through. Iron Fist is worn by Michelle, and they own the Misfits license and a few other licenses. They're really into zombies. I know that's popular here.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, even a few years ago, you couldn't find something like that for girls, I think. Having something that was, oh, that's gross, or that's a zombie thing, that's just, you wouldn't find it in pink, I'll tell you that. And then, obviously, cats are huge and popular, so.
Well, it's like even Hot Topic. Now it's just like, oh, Hot Topic. Yeah, it's worth more.
Yeah, actually, Hot Topic does distribute for both. What do you guys think about the whole leggings thing? I mean, leggings are still like,
I like it.
yeah, they're hot as hell. They're like,
It's in trouble.
I don't think they're dying anytime soon. Everyone loves leggings.
I understand what they
They're comfy and they're cute.
Yeah.
It's like the two
One
things
time I
you
was
need.
looking at that girl and I thought she was nudie, right?
Yeah. You gotta be careful with your color choice, I'll
Yeah,
tell
and
you
I'm a
that.
teacher, right? So I'm like, you gotta wear clothes, girl. And she was like, I am. These are like something like leggings or jeggings, and I was just like, what? Are those underwears? Like what? Like, are those like those long underwears that boys wear? Like the guys go to school like that. And I was just like, those are your
You
children.
mean the joggers that are just like sweatpants with a cuff? Like,
Oh yeah.
they're just skinny jeans and sweatpants.
I firmly believe you should be able to wear whatever you want. I don't think you have to look a certain way or have a certain body type to wear anything. That said, I think you should wear something that's flattering to yourself, but that's your own decision. I really hate that term where they say spandex is a privilege, not a right. I think that's BS. You should wear whatever you want to wear. I don't know, what do you guys think? Have you ever had anybody tell you like, oh, you shouldn't be wearing that, or you should be wearing this? Like,
All the time. Yeah. I'm curvy, in case anybody hadn't noticed. And I noticed that a lot of my really thin friends can get away with stuff that I can't get away with, which is unfortunate for me because there are clothes that I absolutely adore. Like I love Iron Fist. Pretty much everything that isn't this dress that I brought with me is Iron Fist. And a lot of it is that kind of, slinky or and people just, they don't handle it well. And the number of times that I've been called not pleasant names, because of that is really unfortunate. So it's not just people being like, oh, you're too skinny, or oh, you're too fat. It's every body type gets picked on. And it's really unfortunate to see, because especially in the world where we are the outsiders, why are we picking on each other? We need to have each other's backs, and so it's unfortunate. Like I actually heard somebody inside, and I'm gonna check the room to make sure you're not here, talking about one of the girls that has a booth next to me, and he apparently had asked her about what her clothing was made out of, and she told him, and he said, I was talking about your clothing, not your breasts. And yeah, and I was horrified. So if you're here, I'm sorry. But I was absolutely horrified and almost said something about that, because that's not appropriate. And she has a wonderful talent for making her costuming and everything. It's fabulous, and I can't say it enough how fabulous it is. But it's harsh to see that. We need to be supporting each other. We're getting to be a huge community, But we're not a big enough community that we can sit there and judge each other like that. We really can't. You know, we need to stand up for each other. And I know I do, so I hope everybody else out there is willing to. I know these girls do, because I've seen it happen.
Well, that's
So,
like the curvy girl, what is it, real girls have curves memes and stuff. Like it's, why pit one body type against another?
agreed.
You don't get to find what's real when everybody exists.
Yeah.
If you can touch it, it's real.
And then there's people who are like, oh, real, or like
Yeah,
they
but
say
don't touch it.
you can't define real women, but then they just try to sit there and define real men. No, you can't define the other gender too. You can't define who somebody is.
Yeah.
All
Well,
you can define is yourself.
I mean, that's
Yes.
actually a really good point. I think the geek community is definitely, I mean, there's a lot of buying power out there. Look how many movies, you know, in the top 10 movies are all, I think, geek-themed movies, except for Titanic. You know, we are a large demographic that they're after, but we're not so large that we can afford to battle each other. I think that was a really good point that Pandora made.
If we're not being loyal to each other, nobody else is. And then when
And
people
the whole
want,
thing about being a geek is self-expression, expressing yourself and not really caring what other people are gonna think about the weird stuff you're into. So why would we take that community and turn it against each other?
We all got picked on. Why are we picking on other people? It makes
the bully.
no sense.
Michelle, if you don't mind talking about this, I know you went through a pretty drastic change in your figure. You want to talk a little bit about that and how things have changed for you? Do you mind talking about that?
For a little bit, sure. Last year, in under 5 months, I lost almost 65 pounds. And that's when I started cosplaying, because I felt more comfortable under my skin, and now I'm more open. Oh my God. Loud voice. I'm a preschool teacher, so and so I just feel more comfortable in my skin and more comfortable just expressing my nerdum and wearing girly clothes, otherwise you'll see me in just jeans.
I think though, I mean, honestly, however you look is fine, you know, I mean, it's completely fine. But it's how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that does come from what society has pushed on you, right? They've made you feel a little self-conscious about that. And you look great, you know, like.
You look
Michelle,
good!
That's not saying you probably didn't look good before, because you're a beautiful, beautiful girl.
And that's what my boyfriend tells me all the time, but I didn't feel beautiful. The self-esteem level was just like very, very low, but I mean, I worked very hard at what I did, so I'm proud of myself, so.
And that's the point, is
Yes.
how you feel about yourself, not
No,
anybody else.
definitely. I'm learning that.
Yeah, I think self-esteem is another issue that a lot of us have that people don't realize. That, you know, we go out there and because we put ourselves out there and stuff, they assume that we have all of this, you know, we think we're there and we think we're good and we're great and everything, and they don't realize that we have the same fears that they do. And I think that maybe if we're able to show people that we have those same fears that they do, that helps other people out too.
Absolutely.
I was actually talking to Jessica right before this. We had a product shoot, and she actually didn't get a chance to respond for it. And I messaged her about it. She didn't get the message, and so you want to talk a little bit about how it's like to live on the internet as like a cosplay model.
Sure. So I just recently, within the last year or so, gained a following on the internet, and there's something about the internet that gives people this confidence to be the meanest they can be, to just drag you down in any way possible. And I've had to deal with a lot of hate, and you know, but you just have to keep thinking that you put yourself out there. You know, there are a million different people in the world, and for all the hate that you get, just think about all the love that you get too. And it's just, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, I'm thin, but I still get so much body shaming on the internet. I get people telling me that I'm too thin, or that I'm not thin enough, or that my accents aren't good enough, and it's just really terrible. And you just have to think, you know, be confident in yourself and just rock whatever you do.
Did you have have something to add to that, Jennifer? Or just-
I just wanted to say something on the other side for our community. Yes, I've seen certain pockets of unacceptance and stuff, and that's not fair because we should all be supporting each other. But I went through cancer treatment. I'm going through it again. I lost all of my hair. I gained like 60 pounds, and then I've lost it. But I was so depressed and so uncomfortable with who I was, and cosplay really saved my life. Everyone was so kind to me, and it brought me back to life. I've made so many great friends that I now consider part of my family, and I wouldn't be probably getting out of bed in the morning if not for what all cosplay has brought to my life.
Woo! That's right.
Nobody? Evan or Pat, you guys want to talk a little bit about the photography side of it? I just realized we have a whole bunch of photographers here. Should have brought one of them up. Perry, Annette, maybe? Look at the boys club there.
Come on, bro.
Man up.
So being a cosplay photographer is, it's actually kind of difficult as a guy to approach people that I don't know just to be able to take a photo because I like what they're wearing. I've seen so many people that say they're a photographer, they come up and they take a picture, or they take inappropriate pictures when people aren't looking, and you know that actually makes it a lot harder for the people that really enjoy doing the photography as a passion for, you know, cosplay, to be more comfortable with it. I've actually dealt with people coming up and taking pictures of like Pandora when she's not paying attention, and I've gotten in people's faces because they're taking inappropriate photos and they think it's okay because she's in a costume.
This is my best friend since I was 7, by the way, so he is very trustworthy. If you are ever in cosplay, I vouch.
Yeah, I mean, as a photographer myself, I've had a lot of anxiety just approaching people to take photos because of the stigma of you know, pervy people going out there and taking photos. And I try to overcome that by doing the cosplay events and everything, getting to know people. For the longest time, I would only take photos of people that I knew. And so that was a small group. Now I've, with you know, Douggary and the Geek Fashion Show, I've been getting to know a lot more people, and people like Carrie.
Who knows everybody?
Yeah, who knows everybody. Introduced me to, you know, more of this world, and everybody's just been so accepting, and I enjoy it so much. So, I mean, you know, if you're thinking about doing photography, great, do it. It's an expensive hobby.
And please don't ask us to get naked if you don't know us. That's a main thing.
It's sort of the sad thing. When we do, the fashion shows run like a real fashion show. We have designers, a hair and makeup team, you know, and models. We've had Adrian Curry model for us, and Chloe Dykstra, and we've had, you know, regular fans. But to apply for the, by the way, it's open to anybody. If you guys are interested, sorry, this thing is just dead. Let's put it out loud. If you guys are interested in being part of the fashion show, we don't discriminate based on anything. We'll take any size, shape, race, age, whatever. I mean, if you're underage, you have to have your parents' permission. But other than that, we don't discriminate. It's an all-inclusive show. But so I'm more interested in how the girls or guys fit with the group we already have. So I talk to every model at least once on the phone just to get an idea about them. And then I ask to see a picture. And I have to be super clear that I want a clothed picture of them. And I can't tell you how many people have sent me nude photos because that's what they think that we expect, right? And it's sort of, it's funny in a way, but it's also sad in a way. Because think about how many times they were asked that for them to assume that that's what we wanted, right? And that's a shame. I mean, I can't believe that girls go through that kind of pressure in life. And it's happened to them so many times that is their normal response to a question like that. So, you have something to say?
Oh, I do want to say a great thing about the show is like we're normal people, like, hey, and it's great to see like
Semi-normal.
I just have a little bit of an obsession. It's okay. It's great to oh stop. And it's great to see girls and like guys who like they see their friend go on stage, and it's their friend they went to high school with or they met at the con, and they get to see them go on stage and they're like, wait, anybody can on. I'm like, anybody, like we don't discriminate. Some people are like, oh, I'm too short. I'm short. I'm 5'4". No, it's cool. Go on stage. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome to be like that type or who wasn't like the pretty one in high school or the too nerdy one, and being able to go and just be like, hey, I can be confident with people who are like-minded, and it's great to see every like body type get up there and rock it. So many of the first-time models, they're like, oh my god, I'm terrified. They come off the stage and they're like, you know what, we did good. And it's great to see girls' confidence build, just because, hey, we are all being so supportive.
It is.
Yeah.
It's super encouraging and confidence boosting, and like just reaffirming about the things that you do, like pride yourself on, and that you do like about yourself and want everyone else to see, because this is who I am. And so being on stage like that, it's like it really did just bring that out and make you feel all your friends are there seeing you, and like your loud is just right there. Sorry, I'm not making very much sense, but I'm like.
You're good. Yeah,
It's encouraging.
we always say we are our own biggest cheerleaders, because if we have a fashion show, backstage is the loudest group. We're back there screaming and
The dancing.
and talking to people. Like, I've had girls come in their first time and just be petrified. And I'm like, hey, I was you not that long ago, and if I can do this, you can do this. Because it really is, it can be scary because you're putting yourself out there. But that being said, you know, when you have this wonderful supportive group of people, it brings a lot to you because you've been put down so much. And so to have this wonderful support group is great. So yeah, if any of you are interested, please don't feel like you can't. We love to be able to work with you guys.
Sometimes we've seen a girl go up for the first time, she's terrified the first time on stage, and then the next show she's rocking it, and she's like, you know what? I can't do this.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many panic attacks we've had to defeat backstage, but I'm honestly happy to do that. I think that it's important. I firmly believe everybody. This is my soapbox speech. I believe everybody is beautiful in some way. Everyone has something about them that is beautiful, and I want to be able to let them show everybody else. I mean, it could be your eyes or your nose or your hair or the way you laugh. It could be anything, or maybe it's more than one thing. But everybody has something, and they have the right, and they should have that privilege to be able to show everybody else that, yeah, I can be beautiful too. Actually, on that note, why don't you guys talk a little bit about those who dressed up? Talk a little bit about your outfit, maybe something. Go ahead, Jen.
Down the road? Okay. Well, I'm wearing the piece from New
Center stage.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, stand up and let me see it.
Wearing the pieces from the new Blue Girl line offered on Think Geek, and it's really comfy, really fun. And I was so excited when Douggary, told me that this was the one I was going to be wearing at Winter Sack, because I wear hoodies like all the time. Super, where I'm at home, super comfy, and so he's like, you're gonna wear a nice fashionable outfit with a hoodie? And I'm like, I got this. I have this flip that I practiced really hard and I'm really proud of. So I'm gonna show you. That's what I'm proud of, and that's the fun that I've had doing the fashion show so far. So.
And I wouldn't have normally thought I haven't seen you in those colors before, but it looked so good on you. I thought it was a good match.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either because I do normally wear darker stuff, but I love the yellow. I've had to keep this like in my closet all special because I want to wear it all the time, but then I'm gonna get it dirty and it won't be yellow anymore. So I have to be really careful with it.
Just I know you're in cosplay, but
Yeah, I'm just in cosplay.
you can go ahead and talk though about it.
Today I'm just in cosplay. But there are a lot of outfits that I've designed myself for cosplay, mashing up characters and bringing new characters to life. One of the outfits I'm most proud of is for Dapper Day at Disneyland. I don't know if anybody has ever been. It's so fun. I did a Star Tours inspired dress. So I humanized the robot stewardess to greet you and brings you on the ride. And it was just so fun to take something that you love that's a concept and turn it into reality. It's really fun.
I am actually right now I'm in Black Milk, which I love. Iron Fist is my other. And yeah, it really is an addiction. It's bad. And then we have Bunny Blue and we just, and Min's Print, which she's in. I love that. She's fabulous. But it really is. It's nice to be able to go out and find something like this. You know, I never thought that I'd be able to find something with something like this on it. So I haven't had a chance to wear this in the fashion show yet, but you know, it may happen. And otherwise, I'm the same where you were saying. I make a lot of my own cosplays and stuff, and it kind of brings you up. You know, you realize that you can do things you can't do originally, and you learn a lot, and it's really, really cool. So I think I'm really lucky to be able to be part of this group. But yeah, so as you can tell, Mandalorian mug, it's bad. But yeah, everybody has our own little obsession, but I think we're lucky to get to see different ones every show, which is kind of nice. So.
We change it up. We change designers and change. Not every model walks in every show, so it's different every time. Carrie, you want to go out and show them your outfit and talk about it?
Yeah! Sorry. Woo! Love it! That fire.
Being a former teacher, I can't encourage you guys enough to share what you do, information on how you make things. Never pass up an opportunity to learn something from each other. Technique, style, tool usage. These earrings, I'm a jeweler. I designed them to go with the outfit, Min's Print and Blue Bunny Designs. I model not only, to raise, my own self-esteem, geeks, we gotta do that, but to inspire. I'm 52 years old. This is 52.
My teachers never look like that.
My biggest thrill was the first show. I was terrified, but I looked in the audience and I saw a woman who was salt and pepper gray hair, and she was in cosplay. And I went, yes. And it's like we locked eyes. It's like, yes, we know. But yeah, see.
The making your own jewelry thing is
Yeah.
part of the funnest thing of adding to your
Absolutely.
costumes.
Never pass up an opportunity to learn something. I mean, super fan builds, silicone molds, high-density polyurethane foam. I can geek out on all this stuff. Sword making, the
3D printers.
yes, yes, absolutely. But yeah, support each other. We've all we got, and as our community grows, you're going to see more and more mainstream ideals pushed on you. It's what you're supposed to look like, how you're supposed to act, where you're supposed to wear stuff. So fight it. Support each other. Thank you.
Okay, so this, as I've said, is the Smile dress from 1138 Clothing. And the great thing about her was, we talked, and she inspired me to do a lot more with The Lord of the Rings. I know, I'm going to talk about it. Because sometimes you're waiting for that fashion or that thing to get out there, you're hoping somebody makes it, and I've got to the point where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to make it. I made a Pippin-inspired dress for last Wizard World that I got to wear and showed to Billy Boyd, and he thought it was amazing. So I have like 30 or so Lord of the Rings dresses I'm making this year, which is a lot. Yes, I know, but I have to. I have to. And the great thing about fashion shows, I got to meet Shawny, and she's jewelry. And so she's going to help me with a couple of the things to tie in. So we get to make these great connections and these great friendships. I've made friends with girls I want to model the dresses. And so it's great to like get inspired. See, hey, you know what? I'm not going to wait for the fashion. I'm going to make the fashion. And so we'll wait forever sometimes, and it just won't come. It won't come. Because there might not be enough demand for a clothing line or a professional clothing line to realize, hey, people really want this stuff. They go, oh, that's not interesting enough, because they don't realize the underlying fan base. And sometimes that underlying fan base is not loud enough. We don't demand, and we don't put ourselves out there. But then they put one thing out there, and they're just like, oh no, they really, really like it, we need to do more. It's like Disney telling us, hey, the girls don't like superheroes, and they don't like Star
Disney
Wars.
is finally just accepting the fact
Just
that, like,
accepting.
with Goth Day and the Dapper Days and stuff. I mean, those have all been unofficial, but I think Disney is finally recognizing those, you know, are.
Demands. Like, we're trying to, as nerds, we have to try to break down gender boundaries, because there's so many things that cross over that both genders like, and we can't keep tearing each other down. So we're like, you know, we'll support you, you support me. And so it's just like, we have to be loud and, hey, go Disney, we would like our superheroes. We don't want just one random shirt that you're willing to throw out there every now and again. We don't want...
And it better have Black Widow in it.
It better. Or Gamora, that's hard. Like, the main characters, they're getting rid of, because they're like, just a girl, they don't care. They're just like
the main character.
We went and saw Ant-Man one time.
Where's your action?
Hey,
One time.
Thor is the Disney princess now.
but we had a little girl in the row in front of us, and we didn't realize she was paying attention to our conversation after the movie. And we were talking, and she's just sitting over the seat watching us. And I we started talking with her, and we didn't realize it's not normal, like it's considered normal at the schools for little kids to talk about superheroes. So she was so overwhelmed and so happy because we included her in the conversation. We're like, you want to talk about Wasp? Let's talk about Wasp. A little girl from Wasp. Little girls from North
Yeah, she was like 11, and she was disappointed that Wasp didn't have a bigger part in Ant-Man. So was I. Yeah. But I mean, it was so cute watching her get excited about it and want to talk to, you know, to bigger geeks about it. It was cute.
And what was good for her is like she turned around and she saw two girls talking hard about superheroes. We're like, okay, this theory, this isn't going to work. No. And she was just like, and we're like, you know what? Why is that younger generation not getting it? And then I was just like, they're also like, I feel like we also have to focus, like 1138 again. She made designs for little kids. They got to wear Harry Potter designs. Because sometimes they'll just get that one Disney princess costume and then they'll get a t-shirt with Elsa on it. And so it's nice to see the designers also go cater to kids. Because they don't always they get costumes or they get a t-shirt. Whereas adults, we're just like, you know what, we can wear this skirt, we can wear this dress. As a kid, they don't get options. They get a t-shirt or a costume.
Well, I mean, kids are pretty much told what they're going to wear, you know. And I think from an early age, you know, when parents are putting blue on the boys and pink on the girls, they're being taught this pattern, you know. And it's not malicious, it's just what society expects.
Well, it's like my little cousin. We bought her a Batman shirt. And her older brother told her she's not allowed to like Batman. Batman's for boys. The girl will not wear her Batman shirt anymore. I know, right? I had stern words with him. I had very stern words with him. But it's great, like, seeing, like, the little girls who want to jump in, and, like, they're being taught, hey, that's not too nerdy. And so I like seeing the fashion show because we are pulling everybody in. Like, you get to see Harry Potter designs, you get to see anime designs you might not typically see that, or you might only have a t-shirt up. So fashion show's great, just
Now, Carrie, you want
I am wearing a design from the Greek Girl. Green is my favorite color. Actually, the first time I wore this, I had on black leggings and black shoes. And so the second time I got to wear it, I was so excited to wear it again. I'm like, I'm going to go for a new wig and matching hair bows and just really do it up. It's a lot of fun. It's really brought out a lot more creativity in me. I've seen a lot of your cosplays online, and you guys are fantastic. I'm not that good yet. I'm well versed in duct tape and Sharpies, but we're getting there. But it's so much fun, and it's brought so much more fashion to my own wardrobe, because I'm like, well, it's okay to wear this, so I can wear that. When, you know, I feel the urge to get all fun. But yeah, it's just so much fun and it's so exciting and the clothes really make me feel awesome.
So unless you guys have any questions, we're going to wrap it up. The next fashion show that we have confirmed is going to be Summer Sac Anime. We're going to do a full-blown fashion show there. This is actually, you know, I help run this con, and Mike asked me, you know, do I want to do something fashion-based here? And I wasn't sure if there'd be any interest, and we did want to try to have at least one panel that had a female bend to it, not just, I mean, obviously this is interest for males too. Fashion is not just for girls, but you know, we want to include more. So if you like this kind of stuff, let us, you know, write us on the Facebook page. And if you want to see the fashion show somewhere, let them know. We'll come out. If you're interested in participating, either message me on the page or you can come and talk to me. I don't have a ton of time today, but I can talk to you a little bit about it. And really, we do not discriminate. You can't be too old, too tall, too short, too heavy, too thin. That is not an issue. What we're more concerned with is, are you a real geek and are you cool? Like we want nice people.
We won't geek card you though.
Yeah, we won't geek card you. I'm not going to ask you any trivia questions. But thanks for coming out. We really, really appreciate it. Thanks for all the models for showing up, and we really appreciate it. Make sure you go see Pandora and Jessica inside.